You know, the first time I saw Leon, I was about 15 years old. And I couldn't bear myself to tell the people, you know, I watched with who really thought this movie was great, that I thought it was a bit boring. And I thought that it was a bit overrated. Now, to me, I saw the movie again a couple of years later, and I still found it quite boring, to be frankly. But then, after my maybe 6th or 7th rewatch, I finally figured it out. I finally understood why this movie is not only pretty excellent, but also why the thing about the boring stuff doesn't really bother me that much. I'm gonna tell you why. This is Leon, also known as the Professional for some reason. So in a rundown apartment somewhere in New York City, Matilda lives with her family, not the nicest family of all time, but hey, what are you gonna do? Her father is unfortunately in the cahoots with a DEA agent straight out of hell, played by Gary Oldman. More about him later. Apparently, he has stolen some money from Mr. Stansfield, and stealing money from Scary Gary is a dumb idea because it tickles his "I'm going to massacre you" part of Scary Gary's brain. Now Scary Gary, he returns the next day and massacres the entire family. Matilda, who wasn't at the scene at the time, she knocks at the door of her neighbor, who lets her in after a bit of debating with himself. And now she's looking for revenge. Now she doesn't really care that much about that Stansfield. What the fuck is your fucking problem? Will you stop with that, whatever it is? She doesn't really care that much about her family, but the fact is that Stansfield killed her 4-year-old baby brother. That was the wrong thing to do, and she wants revenge for this atrocity. Now, Leon, who she discovers is a cleaner, aka an assassin, and for hire, she can't make him to take the job of attacking Stansfield. He thinks it is too risky. So she wants him to teach her how to become a cleaner so she can clean Stansfield out. And this is basically our movie. The thing is, this movie has an amazing start, absolutely amazing. And it has an absolutely amazing finale and ending. In the middle is a wasteland of nothing. It is basically a waste of our time. It features tons and tons and tons of sequences that has almost none whatsoever of anything that resembles anything that has to do with our movie. Now this would probably, in any other case, would probably make me go, well, this is boring and a waste of my time. And I thought that for a long time. For the longest of times, I would maintain that I thought this movie was boring. But the fact is that I don't mind it anymore, because I know it's coming and I can adjust to it. Also, there are 3 reasons why this is so. The first reason is, of course, Jean Reno's beanie-wearing, plant-loving, milk-drinking, shade-wearing, socially reclusive assassin that is a fucking masterpiece. He is just so good, and he has... There is something extremely vulnerable over him, and he just comes off as this very weird guy who has sort of is mentally on maybe a 10 or 11-year-old's intelligence level. He can't read, for instance, but he's at the same time so incredibly efficient of murdering people, and he has such stealth and such he's just the best. So it's a very conflicting thing, and that is excellent. Then we have, of course, film debuting Natalie Portman as Matilda, and she's fantastic. This is her probably best performance ever. I completely believed her in every sense. There's also something kind of scary about her. And the thing is that she really wants to kill Stansfield, and there is something morbidly fascinating about her. And also the thing that she's a little bit scary. The sequence when she just burst out laughing in the restaurant. I don't know if it was because she was drunk or anything like that. That was kind of unsettling. By the way, what kind of a fucked up restaurant lets a 12-year-old drink champagne? Maybe it's... No, this isn't France, by the way. This is America, you scumbags. Anyway, last and foremost, we have... I don't have time for this Mickey Mouse bullshit! Stansfield, played by Scary Gary when he truly became Scary Gary. Now, the fact is, he is actually frightening. He is incredibly frightening. The fact of the matter is, even though large portion of this movie is Gary Oldman-less, his presence is sort of felt anyway, and that is because he's so fucking scary and over the top at the same time. He's a cartoon villain that has come to life, but somehow maintaining all the threatening parts of it. It is a wonder to see. It is fantastic to see. And because he is so frightening, and because you're always second guessing what he's going to think about next. He's like a viper, you never know when he's going to strike. Also, fact is that Leon's backstory is a bit shady. He tells us his backstory, but it doesn't explain to us how he became the way he became. The thing is that if you're a huge action junkie and you want to see this movie, you will probably be a little bit disappointed by it. Simply fact that, as I said, it's a long time between the start of this movie and the finish of this movie, which is freaking excellent, where nothing really happens. But it is character driven and character building, and it is interesting, despite the fact that we're, oh god, here we go again. Ugh. Despite the fact that it doesn't have that much with the ending to do. The thing that most people spoke about when talking about this movie is, of course, the relationship between Matilda and Leon. Because Matilda sees him as, you know, he's a father figure, but she's also in love with him. And she also, you know, wants to have sex with him. And she, you know, tries to persuade him to do this. He budges at every corner, and nothing really happens in that vein. But their relationship is... I never felt that it was a sexual relationship in that sense. Actually, she's more mature than he is, and I never felt that he was gonna take any advantage of her or anything like that, because I always felt that she was safe with him, because she made him a bit more human than he was before. But I also thought that he would never take advantage of her, and the fact is that people says it is uncomfortable to watch this movie, and they feel that it is unsettling to watch this grown man and this 12-year-old girl in, you know, this apartment and stuff like that. But I never felt that. This movie is carried up by its amazing start, amazing finish, and absolutely stonking performances with Oldman, Portman, and Renault. So it also diverts a lot from what is usual action movies formula of the mid-90s. It doesn't have the classical car chases, shootouts, fight sequences, what have you. That was the norm, and it has these weird angles, and it has this odd atmosphere that populates this movie, which makes it look like nothing else. This is a true 90s classic, and if you haven't seen it before, I would really guarantee that you will probably like it. One thing that I have always figure out is why they made this an American sort of movie. It's a French movie, but set in the US with actors speaking English all the time. It's probably because if they would have done it as a French sort of more art house movie, it probably would have been pretty good, but they wouldn't have the same budget. They wouldn't have Gary Oldman as Stansfield, as I guess he probably can't speak French, and they probably wouldn't have somebody that was as good as Natalie Portman. Also, when the producers would see that movie, they would say, hey, we can make a shitty remake of this one, gonna put this picture up for no apparent reason, but that's basically it. So this movie, as I said, have, a bit of pacing issues, but Eric Serra's captivating music, amazing performances, the great opening, and the great and extremely amazing finale makes totally up for it. This is one of few movies where I have seen this gone through. The rating of 87 reflects that. If they would have casted anybody else in this one, I would probably have given this one a much lower rating. Well, winter's here, and but we have sun today at least. Nicey. So, have you seen Leon? Did you like it? Well, see you next time. We'll see what we're gonna review. I have no idea what. Take a look at that. The Victor is signing out.